Everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading on this blustery and wet day. It has been so hot here, so it's really nice to have a bit of rain, and we've been doing all our backyard up, so it will be very welcome after we planted so many things. Okay, so thank you all for your beautiful comments, your words of support, and all the beautiful messages you send through to me. I thank you. It's really awesome. I forget to look at the camera sometimes, sorry. Um, if you would like a personal reading with me, I am still doing personal readings, and you can email me at the AussieGoddess@gmail.com. All one word, no numbers, all spelt correctly, the AussieGoddess@gmail. If you would like to take up a membership, and I'm hoping to get to a members reading today, membership, then please just check out join or, sorry, I've got 101 things going through my head this morning. Join or membership under the video. A couple of people still waiting for me to get back to them regarding readings. I will get back to you, I promise. But I think that's everything. Okay, for today, I'm going to read from one of my original tarot decks. This wasn't my first one, but I've had this one for about probably 30 years, maybe even longer than that. I did have, when I first got the first tarot deck, it was really big and very hard to look at, and I ended up going and buying a small deck because I found it so much easier to sort of flip the cards out. So every now and again I find it and I think, oh, obviously today Spirit wants me to use that particular deck. So we're going to get into that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to update you with. We will be doing the Leo reading after this. And as I said, I hope to get perhaps a short reading up today for members, so be looking out for that. All right, let's see where we're going with our little Rider-Waite Tarot. And we got the Queen of Pentacles again. Now, what I always say to people, which is really fascinating, is it doesn't matter if I use 10 decks, the same cards will always come out. 78 cards, doesn't make a difference. They will always send the same cards. The really interesting part is all of you beautiful people will write to me and say, hey, I pulled exactly the same cards as you this morning. So whatever energies are out there, they may not necessarily pertain to you alone. They may be a very general energy. And that's why we always talk about reading for the collective, because if you're spiritually aware, and maybe some people who are not, it doesn't really matter. That energy comes through regardless. Now, it may be slightly different for all of us, but I think it's strongly aligned to the planets and what sort of energies are going on in the universe at the moment. So Queen of Pentacles has been coming out quite a lot. Now, I feel like because we're almost in Capricorn season anyway, it may be because we're getting close to Capricorn season that she keeps sort of jumping in. But as a card, the Queen of Pentacles does represent Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But as a person, she is very aligned with her environment. She's very naturally inclined. She's very in touch with nature. It doesn't mean she doesn't have a focus on her own resources. And we can see in the card she's obviously very focused on, you know, those resources, perhaps money at the moment. Perhaps you're all a little bit focused on, you know, having enough, meeting requirements, whatever else. But it doesn't mean you're letting go of everything else. So it's almost like, yes, I'm focused on my money, but I'm still making sure my environment's really comfortable around me. All right, oh, look at that, Ace of Swords. So perhaps you've been doing, and I've said this the last few weeks, and wondered if that's why this card is coming out so much. The Ace of Swords is a card that talks about the truth. It talks about clarity. It talks about having good communication, good direction, and knowing the way to go. But it's a brand new beginning. So somehow or another here, I'm wondering if the energy you're in, you're seeking a new beginning somewhere in your life. And it may be, and obviously because I have, you know, that experience of touching base with lots of people, it may be that you're starting to get in touch with who you are as a person. It could be that you're starting to understand you don't speak up enough for yourself, and you've made a decision to do that. You could have made a health change. You could have had some sort of indication that it's time to really focus on your health. It could be that you've had clarity around some sort of relationship, some sort of ending of a relationship, especially with the sword, because it can be the cutting off of something and starting something new. But some sort of clarity is coming through here, and we have the King of Pentacles through here too. Now, ordinarily, the Queen and King for me are partners. You know, it's a bit the same as I see King and Queen of Swords very often, for me, represent divorcees. The King and Queen of Cups very often represent parents for me, but not for everybody. But that's the way that I feel they come out for me. So the King of Pentacles, when it comes through, is definitely something to do with somebody you have either a partnership with or you want to have a partnership with. Now, it could be that you haven't met anybody there with that Ace of Swords. It could mean that you are just getting yourself focused with that Queen of Pentacles on what you want to have in your life. Now, not necessarily romantic, but could be you have a person in mind or the type of person in mind. I always say it's really good to write your shopping list. All right, there's some sort of decision being toyed with here. So something that you want to put forward or you want to make a decision on, but you're sort of stuck in a little bit of a situation where perhaps maybe you've got two people here, but you're tossing up which way to go here. Yeah, because there's some sort of love offer coming through here, something you've wanted with that Magician. Just go a little bit further. Wow, and then we have the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like here you've done a lot of work on yourself. You're more than likely single. You could be in a relationship that you're choosing to move away from because it's not really serving you. It's really interesting, but that sort of energy comes through all the time. And I've got to say I can relate to it strongly. You can meet someone, but you can outgrow someone. It doesn't mean that they're bad or abusive or anything like that, but it might mean that you want to go places and the person you're with doesn't. So, for example, you might want to do travel. You might be living your life so that you've got, you know, time to do lots of travel and save for travel and get around and have a look at places. But you might have a partner who prefer not to. Some people don't like flying. Some people don't like traveling. Some people aren't even interested in other cultures. So it's possible that you could have been with somebody and you've decided to move forward and find someone who's more aligned with your own values. If not, and I'm talking to those people who are single, it's very possible that you have now decided what sort of person would be right for you. Now, interestingly enough, I've found through time we tend to go for people who are most similar to us, but I actually found the best relationships are the ones where we meet people who don't have everything in common with us, but maybe we have enough in common to keep the relationship really solid. But it's great if somebody likes doing different things to you, because it gives you an opportunity, as you see here with the Empress and Nine of Pentacles, to have your own sort of likes and dislikes and the time you want to spend together. I have met people who seem to think when you're in a relationship, 100% of the time you need to do everything together. And I feel like sometimes that's good in the beginning of a relationship, but a relationship thrives more if you have your own interests. Now, everyone will agree with me there, but I've found over time it's good to have both things in common and things that are different. So I feel like you're looking at all these things as the Queen of Pentacles here and making some sort of decision here. And I feel like you've got clarity on that now. You're understanding that if you want to move forward and meet someone, they need to be more aligned with who you are. Like you might want to meet someone who's spiritual, or you might want to meet someone, like I said, who travels. You might even want to meet somebody who, you know, is very sporty like you, so you can do sport together. But as I said, if you're both doing everything together, then you lose sight of who you are as a person. And it's really important for you to, you know, have your own things that you like to do. All right, let's have a look, because I feel like whoever you are, you've probably been single for a while. As I said, if you're in a relationship, I feel like I'm talking to people who are sort of either bored or disinterested or have got to a point where they feel they've outgrown the person they're with. All right, we have the Victory card coming out first with the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the World card. There's travel right there, an offer of travel. Maybe you just want to meet somebody that you can travel with. maybe somebody out there is thinking of traveling but doesn't want to go alone, and you just want someone who's aligned enough with you that you could travel with them. You know, sometimes we can choose to do those, you know, package things where we sort of go with people of similar. I've heard people say they've had great experiences doing that, you know, going with other people the same age but on their own. But there's definitely something here that feels like something is being offered to you here, which is going to help you move to sort of the next step in life. And it could be a love offer, but because it's the Knight of Pentacles, I'm feeling like it's some sort of opportunity that may lead you to something more. Let's keep going. All right, so we have the Lovers. That's very nice. With the Hierophant, very focused on commitment here, and we have the Emperor here. We had the Empress before. That's very interesting. So maybe you're really focused on a particular person. Maybe you've really set your sights on someone, because the Lovers card and the Hierophant, for me, the Lovers card is always about, we talk about these relationships that are destined, that the universe has led you in the right direction. But for me, it always means some sort of choice or some sort of movement in that direction. And I feel like here, because you have the Hierophant and the Emperor here, it's very possible here. I want to get in really deep, and I'm going to try not to, that you have made some sort of choice because you want a commitment or you want to settle down with somebody, but somebody who has, you know, very similar ideas to you. For some of you here, this is meeting someone through an environment that either you are working in or you're connected to. The Emperor for me could mean that you're meeting someone who is very, very esteemed, very well respected. They could be a manager, they could be a leader. But with those two cards together, I wonder if there is some sort of choice or some sort of invite here to go to a place where you get an opportunity to meet someone and you've already sort of decided to go because the potential is there. Could be a wedding. All right, 10 of Cups coming through. It's a really nice reading. There's that choice there again. Okay, let me just pull another card. Oh, we have the Sun. Okay, so you know, a lot of the time that we go through life, we see anxiety as being sort of a little incapacitating. But I feel like, you know, for some of us, you know, a little bit, well, for most of us, anxiety is a good thing, just in small doses. So anxiety is our driver. So when we've got a challenge and we've got to take on a challenge, we get anxious about it. Those are the butterflies. We get scared, but that's how we overcome our fear. So if you turn away from something, it will just heighten that anxiety for you because it just reinforces your fears. And there's something going on about this here. There's some sort of decision to be made to go towards your own happiness, but you've got some sort of fear that's holding you back. Now, it could be, I don't feel like it's about a person. I feel like it's perhaps that you're worrying that perhaps you won't meet the right type of person. And I say often on these videos, people say to me, I'm setting my sights too high, or, you know, my intentions are too high, or whatever. And I think, no, you set your intentions where you need to have them. If you have to compromise when you get there, then fine, compromise. But I feel like sometimes, you know, we can be anxious or worried that we may never be able to find what we're looking for. But I feel like here you're going to look at these cards. So you have the Victory card, the Ten of Cups, the Sun, and the Lovers card coming out in a reading here. I have to tell you a little secret, but I need to wait a little while. I'm going to tell you something really cool, but I need to wait a little while to get it confirmed first. But it's related to this here. So I feel like no matter what, there is something coming your way here that you have been really focusing on. You've been really trying to manifest, get it into action, but you've now got clarity on how you need to do that. And maybe that is about going to the right places to meet someone. Maybe it's sort of worrying that you'll never get the opportunity, but now you've got clarity and you've decided you're just going to do everything you need to do. But there's definitely some sort of partner coming through here. I feel like there is some sort of tossing up here. So for some of you may already be in this situation where you're trying to work out the direction you want to go in. I love that you have the Magician here, because for me, the Magician is about manifestation. We have the Empress coming through with the Nine of Pentacles. So it's a real strong feeling that whatever you've been doing, the self-work, whatever this decision is you're going to make, you're ready. This isn't something that you're half-hearted about anymore. This is something that you really want to get into and you're really ready. You're ready. And I used to do that same thing to myself. You know, I used to think after a relationship finished or something happened, you know, at what point do you feel ready? But you know you're ready. And I feel like if you go out straight away looking for the next best thing, you're probably not doing yourself any favors. You've got to wait till you're ready. All right, so we have Deer of Delta. Deer of Delta, 26. That's really beautiful. I always say how gorgeous these cards are. Look. I'll pull some cards out that I haven't used for a while. I also have a stack of cards there for giveaways and things, so I intend doing those getting shortly, once things sort of lessen up a little bit. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. There you go. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. So it says some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it, to unlearn what once knew, to be reborn. So maybe that's what the Ace of Swords is representing there. You know, you stepping back and really making decisions about what you want. You know, I always say to people, if you want a relationship, write out your shopping list and talk about the things that you don't want in a relationship, or the kind of person that you would like to have. In that rebirth, new understanding of vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here one is completely unconscious. This is deep healing and renewal here. So maybe that's what you're doing with your Queen of Pentacles, but also with that energy of sort of, you know, taking time out to make a decision about what it is you really want. So whatever it is for you, you'll know. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.